In the high and quiet places of the Welsh hills, where the heather meets the stone, there lies a railway few remember, and fewer still have ridden. The Maes Seren Dros Y Bwlch light railway was never meant for glory. It was born not of empire or industry, but of slate, of storms and of stubbornness. Today it is little more than a whisper, a silver thread through forgotten valleys, trailing the last breath of steam over the shoulder of the mountain and into memory. But here in these hills stories cling like mist, and so we follow the line from Maes Seren to the sea. It was in the quiet years of the early 1900s that the first rails were laid across the valley floor. Horse-drawn wagons gave way to narrow steel track, and the slate of Herbert's quarry finally had a path to the wider world. Maes Seren, once just a hamlet of mist and stone, became a terminus with purpose. A connection to the standard gauge brought ambition and a timetable. Beyond Maes Seren, the line curved gently into the hills, hugging the contours of the land as though it had always been there. At Dros Y Bwlch, a small station stood proud against the skyline, a windswept outpost with views across slate country. Above the chisel marks of Herbert's slate quarry, the wagons rolled slowly past, their cargo bound for the coast and beyond. The journey steepened, and the line dove into the dark, through the tunnel toward the sea. Emerging from the tunnel, the line clung to the edge of the valley, a ribbon of steel threading through mossy woodland and over trickling streams. Passengers leaned from windows, catching glimpses of Afon Du, the Black River, murmuring below. Here, wildflowers grew unchecked between the sleepers, and sheep watched the train with mild curiosity. It was a place for thermos tea, gentle conversation, and the soft rhythm of wheels on rails. Halfway along the line stood Tŷ Pŵl, a simple passing loop carved into the hillside. There was no platform, just a sturdy nameboard and the comforting clunk of points being set by hand. On quiet days, nothing passed at all, only the breeze and the creak of a brake van cooling in the sun. But on market days or during the summer outings, engines would meet here like old friends, exchanging whistles as children waved from windows. Beyond the passing loop, the valley opened to sea air. The track fell gently toward the coast, rails shimmering in salt light. At the journey's end lay Penrhyn Glas, a simple terminus where land gave way to tide, gulls wheeled overhead, and the wind carried the scent of brine and tar. There was no platform, just sand, sleepers and time. For the few who rode the line this far, the journey didn't end. It simply drifted out to sea. For a time the line fell silent. The quarry closed. The last train whistled into Penrhyn Glas, and the weeds crept in. Years passed, sleepers rotted, the tunnel mouth was sealed, and the old halt signs faded under lichen and salt air. But something lingered. In the hearts of villagers, volunteers and dreamers, the railway never quite left. And so one summer it returned, reopened by steady hands and stubborn hope. The Maes Seren Dros Y Bwlch light railway breathed once more. Today the little trains run again, steam curling into the same skies, whistles echoing across the hills. Not as they were, but perhaps better for being remembered. Today the line hums with life once more. From Maes Seren the little trains trundle gently over bridges and through woods, past Slaton Stream, through a tunnel reborn. The picnic spot by the river is busy again. Children press their faces to the glass, enthusiasts lean from carriages, eyes full of memory, hearts full of steam. The volunteers wear oil on their hands and pride in their eyes, Each departure is a quiet triumph, not because the journey is long, but because it still happens at all. On this modest stretch of Welsh hillside, the past and present run side by side, coupled forever by shared imagination and steel. This film is dedicated to the volunteers, dreamers and quiet stewards of heritage railways, those who believe that a line is more than rails and sleepers, but the threads that bind us to place, past and each other. Thank you for keeping the flame of steam alive.